Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. I seek refuge with Allah from the shaitan, the stone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Today's topic is what Al-Quran says about Rehbaniya or Irhab, the terrorism, translated as terrorism. Before I recite the ayats pertaining to the word Rahiba or Rahban or Rahib in the Quran, I would like to discuss the word Rahiba or Rehbaniya, which has been derived from the word Rahiba in Arabic. In the Arabic language, the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims who speak Arabic language, in a certain form in the Christian world, they use the word same Arabic language, and Muslims also use the Arabic language if they're Arabic speaking people, or if the Jews are Arabic speaking people, they use the Arabic language as a language. So sometimes the word is used in a specific context and the text according to the ism or the religion they practice. So this word Rehbaniya has got two meanings. In the Christian world, the Arabs, Christians, or the Jews, Arabs who speak Arabic language, they translate this Rehban or Ruhban or Rehbaniya as not terrorism, but as monasticism. Monks or monastics, those people who you can Khan, in Urdu is Khangai ki zindagi, Khankai zindagi. They translate this word. But since it's an Arabic word and its root meanings come from Rahiba, it should contain the meaning of terrorist, to terrorize. To terrorize. It should has the meaning of the word, should contain the meaning of it, to terrorize. So Rahiba means to terrorize. So Rahib means the person who terrorizes, and Ruhban is a plural of Rahib, which is terrorist. Irhab and Irhabi is another word used for terrorism and the person who terrorize. So this was the Arabic words that may confuse you, those who speak Arabic language, that this gentleman is speaking how this word Rehbaniya has become a word, because this Rehbaniya word has occurred in the Quran. So it should contain the meaning correct. But since in English also the word terrorism implies in the world as bloodshedding. As you see in the whole world, suicide bombing or other aspect, this word is also in English is being now misrepresented in the world as bloodshed, killing, massacre killing, that is terrorism. That you can see in the world. But what basically the word terrorist and terrorism means? Who is a terrorist? A person in English language, simple English language, a person who creates severe fear to another person, that he submits to that person is a terrorist. Suppose I create a tremendous amount of fear so that you submit to me by force, then I am a terrorist to you. Whatever the means I use, that's not in discussion. I use a pistol or a gun or a bomb, or I psychologically put fear in your mind. So if you submit to me, I am a terrorist to you. Or I'll put you on a gunpoint. So in similarly, this is a person who is a terrorist. Why he is doing it? He will give you his reasons for it. that why I am terrorizing you. So the system, any person who uses to terrorize is a terrorism. The system, any person uses to terrorize people is terrorism. Any system. He uses a gun, he uses psychological warfare, any means. But the word terrorist does not use as a bloodshed. It doesn't mean bloodshed. Killing is another separate word. Striving or struggle is a separate word. War is a separate word. So sometimes people intermingle these words and the concept is not clear. So it becomes a wrong word. Like gay. Gay is a happy fellow gay. Who is a gay person? He's a gay man. He's a gay fellow. But now the gay is related to homosexuals. But the gay, it means happy. Happy-go-lucky fellow. But the word is associated to homosexuality. So this is what I'm trying to say. So terrorism is also nowadays related to 9/11 and other things which simply associated word. But if you look at the dictionary, it simply means a person who creates a great amount of fear in any other person is a terrorist, and whatever he means he uses to do so is terrorism. So this was the word, and the word terrorism in English now. Similarly in the Quran, before I discuss what is going on in the world, in generally, Allah is defined or His personality is characterized by His names or by His attributes. If somebody asks you what is the personality or the fitrat of Allah or the personality trait of Allah, He is defined as loving, Ar-Rahman, Rahim, most gracious, most merciful. This is His personality. Wudud, loving. So there are above 99 attributes or the qualities of Allah. By virtue, a Muslim understand this is the personality. This is how he behave. And what is our instructions is separate thing. He's a Khaliq, the creator. He is Mohsin, is Salam, bestower of peace, Allah. Similarly, this word Rahib is not to be found. That means he terrorizes people. All the Muslim scholars generally does not use the word for Allah as terrorist, because the word is used in the world as in the wrong sense. How he terrorizes? Allah terrorizes mankind not in this life only. Believe me, if you really understand Allah by His virtue, His personality traits as defined in the Quran, He is loving. I do not exclude wudud, but you must also include Rahib, means the one who terrorizes. And he terrorizes to an extent that He says, I will give you punishment, severe punishment in this world and severe punishment after the death also, that you will be alive again. The person, a normal human being, terrorizes for your death. He puts a sword or a gun to you and terrorizes you that if you will not obey me, this will happen to you, is death, maximum. But Allah says, okay, you'll come back to life again, and then again I'll put you into fire. So at the same time, He is loving and merciful and most gracious. He is also terrorizing mankind so that we obey and follow. But generally people do not use this word for Allah. But that doesn't mean He is excluded from that personality. So remember what will happen. You must understand, in the Quran, Allah laid down certain principles, certain rules. Because He has created us, and He knows our shortcomings and our potential. So He has laid down how to lead a correct life in the world. So He gives you certain do's and don'ts, the muhkamat or the governing ayahs. That ayahs that govern our personality. Those are the muhkamat or the governing ayahs mentioned in the Quran, that by virtue you have to govern your personality. So if you follow those governing ayahs, you will have peace in this world, and in the hereafter also Jannah, the garden, or the good pleasures of Allah. Allah will be Razi. Now, what are those do's and don'ts before I show you on the page? Another thing is that in the whole world, the system I'm going to define is being practiced by the countries and by the ism, I-S-M, ism. It's the same thing. Meaning Allah provides, I will explain, Allah provides you certain rules and He asks you to follow those rules. If you submit, I use the word submit, Muslim. Submit means Muslim. If I submit, Aslim, or if I become a submitter, a Muslim, you will have good life in this world and the hereafter. This is a behavior that Allah has given to all mankind. Similarly, the governments of the people, man-made laws, are also telling you, by countries, you say first take up by countries, that the countries say that if you follow our law, Allah says you follow my law, you submit to my law, you'll have peace and good pleasures in the afterlife. Similarly, the government says if you follow our law, you can become a national to this country. Meaning you are a Pakistani, Indian, American, or European, or whatever. You have to submit to those laws. Similarly, if Allah says if you will not follow what I say to you, then you will have punishment in the world and in the hereafter. Similarly, the government says if you will not follow our law, you will have punishment, you will be a rebellion, we will punish you, or you debar you from our country, throw you out from our country. Similarly are the isms, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianityism, Judaism. They say, look, you have to follow our laws, you will remain a Hindu, otherwise you will throw you out from Hinduism. Similarly, the Buddhists say, Buddhists say you follow our laws, you submit to Allah, otherwise you will throw you out of Buddhism. Similarly, Christianityism, Judaism, every ism is expecting his people to follow their rules and regulations and submit to the rules and regulations. Then you remain to their ism, or you remain to their government policy. You are a submitter or a country, you get the national. You become a national, or you become a Hindu or a Christian or a Jew or a Buddhist or a Muslim to Allah if you follow the ayats. So similar, Allah terrorizes people to follow those rules. He terrorizes people, listen to my words. He makes sure that you are terrorized by Allah and follow the rules. Similarly, mankind is also terrorizing people to follow their rules. The government or the isms. They are doing the same. So you have to, finally you have to submit to the Allah's ayahs. You become terrorized and you submit to Allah's ayahs. In Quran, you attain Islam. You become Muslim, you attain peace. Similarly, they say you can live in peace if you obey our laws. And they make sure that they terrorize people so that you follow them. This what I have said, you will find in the verses of the ayahs when I will read. What I have said in my words, you will see this, you will find in the Quranic ayahs. But before I discuss the ayahs, you open to page, the first page, which are certain points I have laid down as do's and don'ts of the government of Allah or Allah's ayahs. Like first I will read certain do's, and then I will not discuss these, just few of them I have written. There are many do's or the governing ayahs in the Quran, but I read few to explain to you that these are the do's or the orders of Allah that we as a Muslim or as a mankind to follow these, as a mankind in the whole world. Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and Ayah 83, these are not complete ayats. They are small little points deducted from the complete ayah, which just to emphasize certain amount, to tell you what are the do's and the don'ts. But they are not complete ayahs. I'm just describing them so that you understand that what are the do's and the don'ts in the Quran. There are complete ayahs in the Quran, but I've just just give you few references and few points. Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 83, to say good to mankind. Now we will just discuss, to say good to mankind. This is order by Allah in the ayah. This is a do, a command, an order of Allah. Do you expect any man, any human being, whether he belongs to any school of thought, whether he belongs to any government, any national, would you think it is difficult to follow? Should he not agree that, well, yes, he should be good to mankind? You understand what I'm saying? Not for the Muslims, submitters to Quranic ayahs. I am generally speaking to you as a whole mankind, whether whichever government whether whichever national he is, or whichever religion he belongs to. If he is asked to say good to mankind, would you object to that? No. Similarly, Surah Bani Israel 17 and ayah 24, to have good behavior with parents, meaning the children should have good behavior with their parents. Would you not agree that the whole mankind will agree, whether whichever ism to they belong or whatever the country they live in? Is it difficult to follow them? Whether in which any country? No, you have to understand, you're living in America, you're living in Russia, you're living in Japan, is it difficult for you to follow that? No. Similarly, or any ism, any religion you belong to, is it difficult to follow this? Yes, you can follow. Bani Israel 17 and ayah 28, to say easy saying, not harsh. If you speak to people, you speak in easy language, easy saying. Do not use harsh language. Is it difficult? Easy. Similarly, Al-Azab 33, ayah 70, to say to the point saying. Whenever you speak to people, you should be not running around the bush, you say to the point. You should make your point clear, to say to the point. Surah Luqman 31, 19 ayat, to be moderate in your walk. You should walk moderately, not arrogantly. Luqman 31, ayah 19, you should lower your voice. When you speak, your voice should be moderate or lower, not shouting. Okay. Al Imran 3, ayah 130, to be quick in forgiveness from your Lord. You must be ready in asking forgiveness from your Lord. Those people who believe in God, whatever religion they belong to, they must be ready to ask forgiveness from your Lord. It may be difficult who do not believe in God, but as a general mankind, mostly people who say that they believe in God, for them it's not difficult to understand. They should ask forgiveness from Allah, from God. So now, Bani Israel 17 and ayah 35, to give full measure, you should measure balancedly, not wrongly. That everybody understand. Al-Baqarah 2, ayah 177, to fulfill the promise. When you make a promise to people, you must fulfill it. Everybody understand. Al-Baqarah 2, 229, to divorce conditional. There are certain terms and conditions laid down in the Quran, by virtue you can give a divorce. This is also conditional divorce. You can divorce. Now here I must explain to you, not in detail, but just that in the religions, in majority of the religion, there is no divorce. There is no divorce except in Islam and in Quran. Allah has given the condition when to divorce and why to divorce. You can divorce. But in other religions, there is no mentioning of divorce, but people are practicing divorce. That means they are practicing this ayat in the Quran, that they can give a divorce. Now, Al-Baqarah 2 and 282, to have two male witnesses involving future obligations. If you write, I just give you this point to explain it. It's a big ayat explaining to you if you want to go into a future obligation in a written contract. Whenever you write it down, anything, in a written contract, you must have two male witnesses as a witness on that contract. And you must, if you want women, you must have two women and one man, if you don't have two men. In a written contract. And you see in the world, whenever a contract is being signed between two parties, there are witnesses there. Any contract of the world, not only Islamic law, in the whole world, whenever they have contracts, they make sure there are witnesses on their contract. So this is also being practiced all around the world. Al Imran 392, to spend from anything you love most. Now this may be difficult for some people, but generally Allah is expecting to spend the thing that you love the most, you spend from it. Then you become a good person, righteous person in the eyes of Allah. Al Imran 3:134, to restrain anger. To restrain anger. This is a do of Allah which is expecting all mankind to follow, whether he belongs to any nation, whether he belongs to any nationality, or whether he belongs to any ism. He must understand, he must restrain anger. Harab 7 and ayah 199. To hold to forgiveness. To hold to forgiveness means that you must forgive others. If somebody, if somebody goes wrongs against you, you must have the capability to forgive. And it's a very beautiful thing if you start forgiving others. Because the moment you don't forgive, you keep it on your heart and it goes against your own personality. It doesn't harm the other person. You keep on thinking against him all the time and you become criminal. You can't do righteousness and you can't attain peace from Allah. And that is why in the whole world, forgive him. No matter what he has done. Of course you are hurt, we understand. We must try to forgive. This is a do of Allah. You must forgive. So in the whole world, look, I am reading certain points. You must understand, I don't mean that everybody is practicing this. Whether by nationality or whether any religion he belongs to. But these are the do's of Allah or in the government of Allah. So if you practice, beneficial for you. If you don't practice, it's not beneficial for you. But the point is that the mankind as a whole may not object to. He may not say it doesn't mean sense. Of course he agrees to this. Whatever I am reading, every human being will agree. Whether he belongs to any school of thought or whether he belongs to any nationality of the world. That's my point. Surah Al-Hujurat 49:6. To seek clarification against a charge. If a person a charge on anybody, he must seek clarification. Surah Al-Mujadala 58, Surah 12 ayat, to give charity. Everybody understand and everybody likes to practice. They should say everyone should give charity. Al-Nisa Surah 4 and ayah 11. To follow the inheritance law. I will not discuss the whole inheritance law, but the inheritance law is compatible to any system of the world. Every human being, if he analyze that, he comes to a conclusion that this is the best perfect inheritance law as mentioned in the Quranic ayat. All mankind of the world will understand and will agree to it. Similarly, Surah Al-Nahl 16 and ayah 125, to invite with wisdom towards Allah. Now this is that every human being who believes in God, whether right or wrong, I'm not explaining you that he believes the right concept of God or the wrong concept of God. He tries to invite people to God in his own way. But Allah is expecting to invite Allah with wisdom and beautiful preaching. That's the whole ayat. But what I'm saying, it is an order that you must do this. We must invite towards Allah. Surah Bani Israel 17 and ayah 78. To establish the salah, prayer. That the whole mankind should establish the salah and the prayer. Now from here onwards you will see that it is limiting to the Muslim community who are submitted to Allah. They establish the salah and the prayer, and the non-Muslims do not establish the salah or the prayer, but they worship God Almighty in their own form, because in their hearts and mind they know this ayah that Quran says. They don't know this ayah, but they know that from within themselves that they should pray to God. So in the Quran they say, Allah says establish the salah and the prayer, but the people are worshipping God in their own way. That is not right, but what I am trying to say, they are praying to God. Now Al-Hajj 22:78 ayah says to strive in Allah. To strive in Allah means jihad in Allah. You do strive in Allah. This is also among the Muslim community. People are submitting to Islam and Muslim submitters to Allah. They are doing this. But generally, in the whole world, people are striving in Allah in their own way, not as per laid down rules and regulations of the Quran. Al-Hujurat 49 and 9. To make peace among the believers. To make peace among the believers. This is among the believers people, to make peace among the believers. So other people who are not following ayahs of Allah, they also try to make peace among their own systems. This is also, as mentioned in the Quran, people try to practice this. Al-Hujurat 49:10, to make correction among the believers. Similarly, in the whole world, people also try to make correction in their own systems. Allah says, if the believers have a fight, you make corrections amongst each other. Al-Baqarah 2, ayah 168, to eat lawful good food. So Allah is mentioned there are certain forbidden food, and this is good food and lawful food. So in the whole world, Muslims are practicing to eat the lawful and a good food. So the non-Muslims or the scientists are also researching to find out what is good food. So they give instruction in the whole world. Like you go to a doctor, he said, look, this is not good for you. It is not good. At this time you cannot eat meat. You cannot eat cow meat. It is lawful, but sometimes it is forbidden to you. So Quran also says you must eat good food, which is lawful. So similarly, in the whole mankind, scientists and people are doing research on the various foods, which is good, best food for mankind. So whatever they are doing, they are trying to find out which is good, lawful food for mankind to eat. Similarly, they are trying to practice the same thing. Similarly, Al-Baqarah 2, 1 and 175 ayat, to believe in Allah in the last day. This is basically not practiced by the whole world. They may believe in God in their own way. They have the concept of the akhirah in their own way, but not in the true sense what is Allah and what is saying in the ayahs and what is the last day is not being practiced and known on the mind. But they have got some concept of the last day. Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 185, to fast. Similarly, in the Muslim world, we know Muslims are fasting, but other people are also know how to fast and what to do. Similarly, Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 196, to perform Hajj. This is a pilgrimage, is mentioned in the Quran. It says similarly, mostly the Muslim people are practicing, not the non-Muslims, but they have their own pilgrimage. Every ism and the religions have their own pilgrimage, but they don't know actual true pilgrim or Hajj as mentioned in the Quran. Al Imran 3 and ayah 104, to order the acknowledge and forbid the disguise. Now generally speaking, people who try, when they know the truth, either it's a scientific fact or any fact is recognized, they try to educate people.